In a serene village near the mountains, Suresh lived with his young son, Ramesh, and his wife, Meena. Suresh was a merchant, tirelessly working to expand his trade and secure his family's future. He chases fleeting pleasures, tarnishes our family's name, and brings sorrow to my heart with each passing day, Anand said. The Buddha listened intently, his gaze unwavering, his voice a soothing balm amidst the storm brewing in Anand's soul. Father, will you play with me? Ramesh would ask with hopeful eyes. Suresh would respond distractedly, later. My son, let me rest first, but later never came, for Suresh's fatigue always overtook him. One day, news spread that the Buddha was visiting their village to share his teachings. The villagers gathered eagerly to listen. Suresh, curious yet skeptical, joined the assembly, finding a seat among the crowd. The Buddha's presence exuded calm, and his voice carried wisdom that resonated deeply. Time is the most precious gift you can offer, the Buddha began. His words clear and deliberate. Wealth can be regained, but a moment past is gone forever. Suresh felt a pang of guilt but dismissed it, thinking his hard work was necessary for his family's comfort. After the discourse, Suresh approached the Buddha with a troubled heart. Bowing respectfully, he said, Revered One, I am a busy man. I work tirelessly to provide for my family. Yet my son grows distant. How can I balance my duties and still be a present father? The Buddha looked at Suresh with compassionate eyes and spoke softly. Tell me, Suresh, what is the purpose of your labor? Suresh replied, To ensure my family's well-being and to give my son a better life than I had. The Buddha smiled gently and said, And yet, in the pursuit of a better future, you sacrifice the present moments with your child. The words struck Suresh deeply, but he hesitated. I want to be there for my son, Revered One, but the demands of life make it difficult. The Buddha nodded, understanding the struggle Suresh faced. He then shared a story to illustrate his point. Once, there was a king who had everything: power, wealth, and lands. Yet, his heart was heavy, for his only son had grown distant. The king sought counsel from a sage, who told him, A child's love is like a tender sapling. It needs the water of your presence to flourish. The king set aside his crown each evening to walk with his son, to play, to listen. Soon, the bond was restored. Suresh listened intently, the story resonating with his own life and struggles. The Buddha continued, Suresh, a father's presence is the foundation of a child's soul. Your wealth may provide comfort, but your time nurtures love. Suresh felt tears welling up in his eyes, realizing the truth in the Buddha's words. I see now, Revered One, I have been chasing gold while neglecting the treasure within my home. The Buddha placed a hand on Suresh's shoulder and said, Begin with small steps. Dedicate a moment each day to your son. Play with him, listen to him, and cherish the time you share. In doing so, you will discover a wealth far greater than gold. Suresh bowed deeply, his heart filled with gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose. Returning home that evening, Suresh saw Ramesh waiting by the door, his toy in hand and hope in his eyes. Suresh knelt down, took the toy from Ramesh, and said, Shall we play, my son? Ramesh's face lit up with joy, and the two sat under the banyan tree in their courtyard. They laughed, they played, and Suresh felt a warmth he had not known in years, as the stars twinkled above. Meena watched them from the doorway, her heart swelling with happiness. She approached Suresh later and said, You have made our home whole again. Suresh smiled and replied, I have learned the true meaning of wealth and the value of being present. From that day forward, Suresh made it a point to spend time with Ramesh each evening. He would listen to his son's endless questions, marveling at the boy's curiosity and imagination. He realized that these moments were not interruptions to his work but the essence of his life's purpose. Weeks later, the Buddha returned to the village and visited Suresh's home. He saw Suresh and Ramesh sitting together, engrossed in a game under the banyan tree. The Buddha smiled and said, "You have embraced the gift of time, Suresh. May this bond continue to grow and inspire others." Suresh stood and bowed, his heart brimming with gratitude. "Revered one, your wisdom has changed my life. I now understand that true wealth lies in these moments." The Buddha replied, "A father who is present is a teacher, a guide, and a friend. In nurturing your child, you nurture yourself." As the Buddha departed, Suresh turned to Ramesh, who was smiling up at him with pure joy. Suresh knew that the path he had chosen was the right one, and he vowed never to let the demands of life overshadow the precious gift of time he could give to his son. Another day, Suresh sat under the banyan tree with Ramesh, listening to his son's endless questions about the world. Ramesh asked, "Father, why do the stars twinkle in the night sky?" Suresh paused, uncertain of the answer, but said, "Perhaps the stars are winking at us from afar." Ramesh laughed and asked another question. "Where does the river go after it leaves our village?" Suresh replied thoughtfully, "It flows onward, seeking the vast ocean, just as we seek understanding in life." As days turned into weeks, Suresh grew accustomed to their evening conversations under the banyan tree. One evening, the Buddha visited their home, his serene presence filling the courtyard with peace. Ramesh ran to him excitedly and said, "Great one, I have so many questions about the world. Can you answer them all?" The Buddha chuckled softly and knelt to meet Ramesh at eye level. "A curious mind is like a lamp that lights the darkness," he said. "Not all questions have answers, but the search itself brings wisdom." Ramesh's eyes widened with wonder as he asked, "But why doesn't my father know all the answers when I ask him things?" The Buddha smiled and said, "A wise man knows that he does not know everything, and in his humility, he grows. Your father's presence and willingness to explore with you are more valuable than any answer he could give." Turning to Suresh, the Buddha added, "Do not fear your lack of knowledge, Suresh. Embrace the journey of discovery with your son." Suresh nodded, feeling a weight lift from his heart. He realized that his son valued his attention and companionship above all else. The Buddha continued, "A child's questions are not meant to be solved but shared. In being present for his curiosity, you nurture his soul and yours." Suresh felt a deep sense of gratitude for the Buddha's wisdom, vowing to cherish every moment with Ramesh. As the evening deepened, Ramesh brought a small clay lamp and lit it under the banyan tree. He said, "This lamp will guide us as we talk, just like the Buddha's words guide us in life." The Buddha watched them with a gentle smile, seeing the bond between father and son grow stronger. Weeks later, Ramesh asked Suresh, "Father, why do the leaves rustle when the wind blows?" Suresh replied, "Perhaps the trees are whispering secrets to the wind." Ramesh giggled and said, "I wish I could understand their whispers." Suresh smiled and said, "One day, perhaps we will." The Buddha returned to their village and visited them once more. He saw Suresh and Ramesh sitting together, engrossed in a conversation about the colors of the sunset. The Buddha said, "Suresh, you have embraced the beauty of not knowing. In doing so, you teach your son the value of wonder." Suresh stood and bowed deeply, saying, "Revered one, your teachings have transformed my life. I now see the world through my son's eyes." The Buddha replied, "A father who listens is a father who loves. Your presence is the greatest gift you can give." Ramesh looked up at the Buddha and said, "Will you sit with us and share your wisdom tonight?" The Buddha nodded and joined them under the banyan tree, sharing stories of compassion and understanding. As the stars appeared in the night sky, the three of them sat in harmony, their hearts united by the gift of time. From that day on, Suresh and Ramesh continued their evening conversations, finding joy in the mysteries of life. They knew that the answers were not as important as the bond they shared. And in their laughter and wonder, they discovered the true meaning of presence and love. Another day, Suresh sat under the banyan tree, now frail with age, watching Ramesh prepare a meal in the courtyard. Ramesh had grown into a thoughtful young man, always mindful of his father's needs and comfort. Suresh felt a deep sense of pride but also a lingering sorrow that his time was nearing its end. "Ramesh," Suresh called softly, "come sit with me. Let us talk like we used to under this tree." Ramesh brought a warm drink for his father and sat beside him, smiling as he held his hand gently. "Father," Ramesh said, "do you remember how we used to talk about the stars and the rivers when I was a boy?" Suresh smiled and replied, "Those were the happiest moments of my life. My son, you taught me the value of presence." As they talked, a familiar figure approached their home, his serene presence unmistakable. It was the Buddha. Suresh and Ramesh rose to greet him, bowing respectfully as the Buddha entered their courtyard. The Buddha observed Suresh's weakened state and said, "Suresh, your journey in this life has been meaningful. Your son reflects the love you have given." Suresh, with a trembling voice, replied, "Revered one, my time grows short. I worry I have little left to give my son." The Buddha smiled gently and said, "The gift of time you shared is eternal. Suresh, it lives on in the hearts it touched." Ramesh, with tears in his eyes, turned to the Buddha and said, "Great One, my father has been my greatest teacher and friend. How can I honor his legacy?" The Buddha placed a comforting hand on Ramesh's shoulder and said, "By living with compassion, presence, and love, you honor his teachings and continue the bond he nurtured." Suresh listened, his heart swelling with both pride and peace, knowing he had fulfilled his role as a father. The Buddha continued, "A father's love is like a lamp that lights the path for his child. Its glow remains even as the lamp fades." Suresh looked at Ramesh and said, "My son, carry this light forward. Let it guide you in kindness and understanding." Ramesh nodded, his resolve strengthened by his father's words and the Buddha's wisdom. As the evening sky turned golden, the Buddha shared stories of compassion, illustrating the power of presence in relationships. He said, "Once, there was a farmer who tended his fields with dedication but neglected his family. When he realized his error, he chose to spend his evenings with his children, telling stories and playing games. The laughter and love they shared became the foundation of their strength." Even after the farmer was gone, Suresh listened intently, finding solace in the story, while Ramesh felt inspired to carry forward his father's legacy of presence. The Buddha added, "The moments you have shared will become the treasures that Ramesh carries in his heart. They are everlasting." Suresh felt tears streaming down his face, a mixture of sorrow and gratitude filling his heart as he held Ramesh's hand. The Buddha stayed with them into the night, his presence a source of comfort and peace for both father and son. As the stars appeared, Ramesh asked the Buddha, "Revered one, what happens to the love we give when life ends?" The Buddha replied, "Love transcends the boundaries of life and death. It becomes part of the universe, eternal and infinite." Suresh closed his eyes, feeling a deep sense of peace, knowing his love for Ramesh would endure beyond his lifetime. The Buddha blessed them both, saying, "May your bond continue to inspire others," a testament to the power of presence and love. The next morning, Suresh passed away peacefully, his heart filled with gratitude and his spirit unburdened. Ramesh, though grieving, felt his father's presence in every moment, every memory, and every lesson he had shared. He vowed to live with the same compassion and presence his father had shown him, honoring his legacy every day. The banyan tree under which they had shared so many moments became a sacred place for Ramesh. A reminder of his father's love and wisdom. The Buddha, before departing the village, said to Ramesh, "Your father's light shines through you now. Nurture it with kindness, and it will illuminate the world." Ramesh bowed deeply, his heart filled with a sense of purpose and a determination to carry forward his father's teachings. And so, the bond between Suresh and Ramesh became a timeless testament to the gift of presence. A legacy that would inspire generations to come. Unconditional love expands this circle, encompassing all beings without exception. But Master Devak spoke again, struggling to reconcile his frustration with the Buddha's teachings. How can one expand this circle without feeling drained? Buddha's expression remained serene, his voice unwavering in its wisdom. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.